Hello, welcome back to the channel. So, Hoyo have revealed their new game, Honkai Nexus Anima, and I kind of wanted to talk about it since it is kind of in the similar vein to Starro, and give my overall thoughts, give an overview of everything and that kind of. So first we're gonna look at the website, and then we're gonna look at the gameplay video that they released. Now, I've seen people have like mixed opinions on this. Some people seem to like it a lot. Some people seem to like it a lot, other people seem to be not really sure about it. I think for me personally, I do like it, I just think I need to see more of how the game is actually going to work. So, first of all, what is really the game? Well, it's kind of, sort of in the vein of a Pokemon kind of stylish game where, you got all these different creatures, you got, their types here, you got these, like, stats here, and I believe the creatures you don't need to pull for. I believe you can just get the creatures in the game normally, which I think is a good thing. And they didn't even show all the ones here because there's a bunch here that are blacked out. So we got all the creatures there, but then I'll get to the characters in a second. We got like more of an open world kind of thing. Then we've got the main combat, which is more like a TFT style kind of thing, which I've seen people like very mixed on. Some people like the more strategy kind of things. Some people think it looks kind of boring, which, to be fair, I feel like it's kind of hard to make auto chess look interesting, but I feel like most of the time when you're actually playing it, it's fine. But I feel like so far it looks like fine. We just need to see more of how it's actually going to work, and if it has PvP or not, which I'll get into more once we actually watch the video. But overall, I think it looks okay. I just need to see more of how it's actually going to work, because we don't really have much information on the actual gameplay loop of the game. All we know is that we're going to be able to fight creatures and explore the world and stuff. We don't really know much besides that. But now let's get to the actual characters. This seems to be kind of like the March equivalent in this game, because she's also the icon of the game. Then we have Blah, who seems kind of like the rival equivalent in most Pokemon games. I think he kind of just gives that vibe. I don't know if that's actually going to be true or not. And then I believe these get like, I believe him, and I'm not even going to try to pronounce that name because I know I'm going to fuck it up. Him and her are like gym leader kind of equivalents, because it says one of the deputy arena masters, so that sounds like gym leaders. So I don't know if it's going to be the same as like other Pokemon games where you got to fight a bunch of different gym leaders and then go fight the Elite Four and that kind of thing, which if it is, I don't really know how they're going to make that work in a live service sort of format, but I guess we'll see. Then we got Kiana. If you played any sort of Hoyo game, you know who this is. I don't know if this is like main Kiana or if this is like an alternate universe kind of thing, but I'm assuming it's not, but I don't know. We'll have to wait and actually see, because the lore in this one, it's like, this game's kind of confusing, because let's go to this guy, right? This guy feels like almost like he's from a completely different game from these other characters. Like, the characters feel kind of, like they got the cutesy sort of chill vibe, and then these characters feel like they're just from a completely different game. So it's like, is this game more going to be like lore important than we think it is, or is it going to be just more of a chill game? We just have no idea right now, so we're going to have to wait and see. I'm assuming these are kind of like the Elite Four equivalents in this game, since they say that, they are the first sovereign kind of thing. And, the healing deal is pretty cool, We got Victus, then we got, is that Provis or Pras? I don't know. Dude, I'm gonna butcher, all these names. She gives me kind of like, Shinjo sort of vibes, or that kind of thing. Arlament as well. He's like one of the only ones here who actually has a pet, I noticed, which is kind of interesting. I mean, Blade does too. Also, this is just random. Why is Blade here? It's just so random. I don't dislike Blade, but of all the characters you could have picked, why Blade? It just seems so random, and it's I can't understand Kiana being here, but why Blade? I don't know. That'd be a nice character. Pariah, I think that's how you say it. The Novark of Hate. So it seems like they're all going to have, specific things associated with them, like if she's Hate, and I believe Hate is a type? I'm not sure. So yeah, I'm guessing these are all Elite Four members, and then I'm guessing this is going to be the champion. I mean, their name is literally Sir Champion. So I'm assuming that's how it's going to work. And then we got the Sovereign, so he is also Sovereign. We got Kumikia, which I believe they showed in one of the first promotional images for the game. And his design is alright. I'm not super crazy about his design, but it's okay. I mean, him, he looks pretty unique from a lot of the other characters. I have no idea how many of these characters are actually going to be playable, so we'll just have to wait and see once the game actually comes out. Then we got Aberon, who really reminds me of Sealy with the like dual color kind of thing, and just the overall like look of her. But yeah, overall characters, I think they all look like alright. I just feel like the main problem is that like look at the difference between someone like this and someone like any of these characters. Like they just don't seem to fit. So like I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see how like actually more important this game is. Because on one hand, it seems more just chill from the overall vibe of like the creatures and just the general aesthetic of the game. You got stuff like this that you defeated the World Ender 7 times, destroyed them twice. Like I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see when the actual beta comes out. But now let's move on to the actual gameplay video that they put out. So they also released some in-game footage of the game, so we're gonna check it out to see all the stuff that it shows and that kind of thing. Because immediately, we got the flying kind of thing here. We see Kiana there, but also you can swap freely between different companions. So I'm assuming the companions you won't need to pull for, and it's just for the characters. But then that kind of makes you wonder what the characters are actually going to be used for. But let's keep going. So we just see her flying. I will say the world looks like pretty good. There's a lot of NPCs around, there's a lot of different stuff. We got this kind of like beachside sort of area. I don't know how big the map's gonna be. I'm assuming it's gonna be like decently big. I think the main problem we have right now is like we kind of just have no idea what the game is really gonna fully be like, so it's kind of hard to make a full judgment. Now this thing I do kind of like. I'm hoping that you can just teleport to these and don't walk to them, because that would be kind of annoying. I do like this animation though. I feel like it's a bit more interesting than just having a clock turn like a lot of the other games. Like this game gives me definitely a lot more just like chill kind of vibes compared to a lot of the other games. But here we see two different what are they called? Animas? I'm just gonna call them monsters. You see two different monsters there, and they both have attack symbols above their head. So I'm assuming that we're just gonna be able to find them, in the wild there, and then fight them wherever. I don't know if they're going to be just like special instances and you can only get one of each, or if it's going to be multiple. I'm assuming it's going to be multiple. We got, okay, well, that kind of answers my question. We're probably going to have multiple of them. And then there's these little like instances, puzzles and stuff that you can do, or like events, I'm guessing. Then this, you have actual character customization, which I think makes sense, since in a lot of their games they have, just silent MCs. So I think that if you're going to do a game like this, it makes sense to have character customization. I just hope that you can unlock more options as you go through the game, because this seems like there's not that many options. But hopefully you can get more as you progress. Yeah, there's only like 4 of these options, so hopefully you get more as you progress through the game. But, we just see more of the environment, different creatures and that kind of thing. I don't know if that's like a creature, if that's going to be just like a shopkeeper. I have no idea. I do like the animations. The animations seem definitely pretty fluid, And we got a sort of mini games, like side race kind of thing going on. So we got the shooting game. This definitely reminds me of the mode in Zenless. Now we got the sort of the main thing where you find creatures around the world and then you can fight them. And then we see the actual like main sort of combat, which is this kind of like TFT-esque auto chess kind of thing. You see you have 2 characters down there, and you also have the set bonuses on the side. So I'm assuming these are going to be like character specific abilities. I'm not sure. I was kind of wondering, is it only going to be like fighting NPCs and like trainers and stuff, or is it going to be actual PvP? Because I feel like in a game like this, you kind of need to have PvP, or else I feel like it's going to get kind of boring after a while, And then you see them picking buffs and stuff. They could also give their items. You can evolve them as well, it seems like. And he is fighting another. I don't know if this is another player or if this is just a like NPC. Because I definitely feel like if you're going to do a like TFT kind of style auto battle game like this, you kind of need PvP. Now, I don't know if PvP is going to be in like the first beta, because even if it's not in the first beta, I'm not going to say that it's never going to happen, because they might add it later on, because I doubt this is going to be the only beta. But we'll just have to see once the game actually releases, and hopefully I get into the beta so I can show it off more. However, one problem with like PvP in gacha games in general is that it can be very pay to win, because if you just have a lot more dupes and a lot more 5 stars, they're usually just better, so you're probably just going to win against someone who hasn't spent money. So I don't know how they're going to solve that if this does have PvP. I mean, that's just the question of if it does have PvP or not, which we have no idea, because we barely have any real information on how the actual like gameplay loop is really going to go. But yeah, besides that, I don't know. I feel like just watching this is kind of doing it a disservice, because kind of hard to make auto chess like look interesting. I feel like the actual once you're playing it, it's fine, but I feel like just watching it isn't that interesting. You know, like I kind of understand the sentiment of some people being like, "Oh, okay, looks kind of bored." And obviously, all of this is going to just depend on a lot of the mechanics, like how you're going to get the items, how the characters are going to work, that kind of thing. Obviously, they got the set bonuses there. But we'll just have to see. I don't know if it's going to be like a normal Pokemon game where, you got to go fight all the gym leaders and that kind of thing, and they get like a champion. It seems like kind of like that because of the way the other characters are, but I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see when the game comes out. But what do you guys think? Do you like the game? Do you not? Are you excited for it? Do you feel kind of underwhelmed? Let me know in the comments below. And, I will probably be trying to cover this game more as we get more information on it. Yeah, that's about it for this video, and I will see you in the next one.